Greetings to all melanated people all around the world. It's really a joy, it's a blessing. It's an honor to be out here in nature, bring a message of emancipation to you, bring a message that would set you free, teaching you that all is consciousness, teaching you of the teaching of our ancestors and what they had believed, why they taught us to know ourselves. That's the reason why I want to speak to you concerning Abdullah, our ancestor, who was the mentor of Neville Goddard and taught Neville Goddard the law of consciousness. I want to speak about Abdullah and Abdullah's integrity game, because he taught Neville that this life is a game and that you have to know how to play the game. He also taught Neville that consciousness creates creates reality, and that consciousness is the only reality also. Okay? Because you see, my brother and my sisters, when you come to realize that it is your thoughts that is creating your reality, and you come to realize that the inner man is your real true essence, you come to realize that the only thing that is real is the life that is within you. And that life that is within you is what makes everything around you seems to be real. Because everything vibrates, nothing rests, and we are a spirit having a human experience. Now, when it comes to integrity, our ancestor Abdullah taught us what it means to have integrity. And to have integrity, you have to learn about your true spirituality. You have to know your true identity. You have to know who you are. And you have to come to realize that you can create your reality consciously. Also, to walk in integrity, you have to come to realize that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And you have to also come to realize that the name of God is I am, from generation to generation. And that I am that I am. I am whatever I believe myself to be. So, my brother and my sisters, integrity goes with knowing your true identity. It goes with understanding your true spirituality. Now, as a black man and living in a predominantly black country and being exposed to science and technology, where we're living in an age of social media, we can see through the media system where they try to portray black people as being violent and are people who do not have any integrity. But when we look more deeply, we see how our people have been brainwashed through the educational system, through the religious system, and through the political system. And because of that kind of brainwash, many have lost their true identity, and many do not know their divinity. And many have caught up in chasing after money because they get caught up in the rat race. But our ancestor Abdullah taught us that if we seek first the kingdom and we discover the kingdom, and that kingdom is within us, if we know who we are, we discover our true self, then we will know how to play this game of life. And we would know how to behave ourselves, because we would understand how thoughts work. We come to realize that we are a thought evolved being. Now, one thing that would help us to understand the integrity game is when we come to understand also that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, for the Bible is written symbolically. Now, those who wanted to keep us in perpetual slavery, they taught us to interpret the Bible as literal and as if the Bible is secular history. And so many of our people believe in Jesus Christ as a man 2,000 years ago, instead of believing that it is a personification of their own human imagination, and without the human imagination there isn't anything made that was made or anything else that ever going to be made, because everything that ever going to be made must first be imagined. It must first be a thought. So basically, many of our people, they are in mental slavery. And in other words, they are mentally retarded because of what was handed down to them, even from their parents. But we see an ancestor by the name of Abdullah, who knew the entire strategy and understand how the Bible is supposed to be interpreted psychologically, taught a white man what it means to have true integrity, what it means to have power, not power of Caesar, but power of self-knowledge, power of self-consciousness, the power of self-realization, the power of self-actualization, the power of one knowing their true identity, the power of one knowing their true spirituality, the power of one whose mind has been broken from all form of slavery, showing us that Christianity is keeping our people in mental slavery because the Bible was interpreted to them as if it is secular history to make the white man be their God. Because every time a black person says Jesus Christ, with the concept in the subconscious mind of a man who existed 2,000 years ago, and the only image that was given to them is the image of a white man, they are basically saying that the white man is their God, the white man is the provider, the white man is the healer, the white man is their creator, who have to create everything for them, who have to provide everything for them. So they're basically saying, I am the employee and you would be the employer. They're actually saying, you shall be the head and I would be the tail. They're actually saying, you shall be above and I shall be beneath, because you are God and I am your worshipper. So my brother and my sisters, we have to take back our integrity. You don't need placards. You don't need violence. You don't need an army. All you need to do is align yourself back with nature and listen to those who are sent to you as your master teachers. Don't get caught up with too much information. Don't get caught up with too much intellect. It is not how intellectual a person can be in relating the truth to you. It is not how fluent they can be, but it is the energy that they are bringing forth, are bringing across to you. As long as there's the energy of love that is vibrating towards you, and the deep calls to the deep would respond. So my brother and my sisters, my encouragement to you this morning is for us as a people to live the integrity game by believing more in ourselves, by trusting our own human imagination, by getting rid of the employee mentality, because our mind was shaped to have an employee mentality from school. And I'm speaking basically from what is happening in my country and throughout the entire Caribbean. And I believe those things are happening all around the world, but you, wherever you're residing, you know what I'm talking about, and you know where to place it. Okay? So this is the truth I want to bring across to you. That we have to live our integrity. Because we have ancestors who taught us what it means to have integrity. What it means to live among people who would have hatred, envy, and malice, and variance, and all of these things. And it doesn't move you because you know your true identity. Because you know what it means to have integrity. Because you know your true spirituality. Because you know who you are. Because you know that you are the creator and the master of your own destiny. Because you know that your thought is what is creating your reality. Because you know as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Because you are aligned back with nature. So my brother and my sisters, it is time for us to think more deeply. And don't get too caught up with all the distractions. Find time to be out here in nature. Find time to meditate. Find time to be alone. Find time to use visualization. Find time to write down your goals. Find time to do anything that is positive that's gonna uplift you and raise your integrity. Because your integrity would shape your legacy. And your legacy would speak a message to humanity. And when it speaks that message to humanity, it will always resonate and be remembered by the rest of humanity. And that is what Abdullah has done by teaching Neville Goddard the law of consciousness. He taught him the principle of integrity. And the principle of integrity will always break every form of slavery. Thus the reason why many are speaking the law of consciousness, having learned a lot of things from Neville Goddard, but hiding it in many different ways. Some are speaking about going into the vortex. Some are speaking about chaining the brain. Some are speaking about science. Some are speaking about consciousness. In all different directions they're coming from. But we have to see what our ancestor was teaching us through symbology. So my brother and my sisters, let us play the game of life and remember to raise our vibration and our frequency with just pure integrity, which would equal love, peace, joy, happiness to all of humanity. Because I truly believe in the brotherhood of man and the fatherhood of God or the Almighty, the Creator, Allah, whichever name you want to use. But most of all, God is the creative power in me, you, and everybody else. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much. I hope this message has been resonating with you. And I hope you can feel the energy of Abdullah, our ancestor, as I bring this message across to you, teaching you that we have to lift up our integrity and we have to embrace our true spirituality. Now, if you like this message, I'm encouraging you to subscribe or to like or to comment, and do not forget to check out my description below. And as usual, I always want to give you the sign of true enlightenment, because what Abdullah taught Neville Goddard is the single eye message of self-realization. And Matthew 6:22 tells you, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And I'm saying to you, my brother and my sisters, when you have that experience, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N. And you come to realize that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. and that without the sun there is no life, and that there is no light, and that without the human imagination there isn't anything made that was made, and that we are the people of the sun. Therefore, my brothers and my sisters, I want you to understand that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. So let us use our mind power to achieve our every desire and honor our ancestor Abdullah by lifting up our integrity. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you, I'm out.